Welcome to Financing the American Dream. I'm your host, Craig Sewing. Today, we got a great show lined up for you, a real show, not a reality show, about real estate, lifestyle, and culture. We're going to take you all across the country, showing you what these cities have to offer you. Let's go start the show right now.
The search is over, baby. I'm right here, and I got it.
The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media, not owned by a network, commercial-free, unscripted.
Hey, Barry Habib at MBS Highway. And you know what? Spending time at a nice resort, you can relax. Spend some time in the jacuzzi, where there's lots of bubbles. And speaking of bubbles, while it might be fine here, bubbles in the financial markets could be a big concern. And one that we're hearing more and more and more, are we bracing ourselves for another housing bubble, or is this an opportunity? Well, let's take a look. First of all, everything in price discovery is determined by the amount of supply and demand. And supply is created by builders. Demand, that's created by households being formed. In the United States right now, we're seeing about 1.7 million of those, but yet new construction, building households and completing them, it's only about 1.3 million. So there's a shortage there, certainly. So when we take a look at that, and now we make some comparisons back to 2008, boy, I'll tell you what, there were 2 million homes built by builders. Even to this day, we haven't seen anything like it. And households being formed back then, it was less than 1 million households being formed. So no wonder why, and that lasted for a few years. Look at this chart. What you'll see is the blue line, that's households being formed in 2006, were much lower. At the same time, builders built, that gold bar, a record amount of homes. All this combined created an imbalance. So why was there such a huge drop in households being formed? You know, it all stems back to birth rates. So if you start at 2006 and take a look at this chart, let's go all the way back 33 years earlier to 1973. Notice how births dropped off a cliff and then stayed low? Yeah, the same thing 33 years after that results in less households being formed, staying low before recovering. Now take a look at the right-hand side of the chart. You see so many more formations of households than builders are putting up. That's why homes are selling within 2 weeks. That's why we're seeing good support for homes right now in price. Now listen, it doesn't mean some areas that got overheated can't come back down just a little bit, but this should not be long-lived because overall there is still a shortage of homes. Interest rates, they're expected to come back down a little bit, and when they do, you'll see much more activity take place. So bubbles, leave that for the next time you're on vacation at the jacuzzi. As far as real estate, it's a great investment to create wealth for you and your family. Now, speaking of real estate, there's some amazing lifestyles around the country that we'll take you right now to take a look at.
Hi y'all, I am Jen Guidry.
And I'm Cheryl Gibson.
And welcome to American Dream. You guys are in for a treat today because we are at Garrison Brothers Distillery, and it is a one-of-a-kind place. This place has won so many awards that I could not even count them all.
I can't either, and this is going to be a treat for you.
That's right, let's check it out. Dan, you were the first person in Texas to make bourbon. What led you to do that?
I lost my job in 2001. I was part of the Enron debacle when the oil and gas company went under. And I was working for a software company at the time called Extra Prize, which was sold to a big California company called Commerce One. And there's only a couple of things in this world that I really love, and one of them happens to be bourbon. Convinced my mother-in-law to buy this 68-acre ranch out here in the hill country. And today we're going to be profitable. This whole area, the hill country, is like, it's the heartland of Texas. Everybody comes home to the hill country, and everybody has roots in the hill country, and it's just a beautiful thing.
I can tell you that one of the things that I love about this place when I drove up is, and I said this to Cheryl, is like, it is the epitome of what Texas is all about. You got this big bowl out there, big, huge. How many feet is that bowl?
It's about 18 feet long.
So you got a big 18-foot metal bowl. What's the story behind that?
It's made out of chrome automobile bumpers that have been salvaged from salvage yards all across the country. My family and I will take a vacation every summer and we'll go up to Crested Butte, Colorado. And so we went up there for the art fair and we're walking down Elk Avenue And there's this sculptor there that makes these enormous pieces out of chrome automobile bumpers. And they're just gorgeous horses with flowing manes, and cattle and dragons and knights fighting dragons, just really cool stuff. And I was gonna negotiate, and we're gonna beat Oklahoma State today.
I have a feeling this is a bad negotiation, isn't this?
So we sit down with the sculptor and I negotiate a deal, and I don't tell my wife about it for 3 years. And I finally tell her about it because we went back to Colorado, and she confronts me with this situation because she saw the bull in town. And she said, "Did you buy that bull?" And I said, "Yeah, I did." And she said, "How much did that bull cost?" And I said, $28,000. "Congratulations, it's a surprise for your birthday." She started crying and gave me a hug. So we got through it. Right. So it's her bull.
That's a great story.
It's her bull.
And definitely a showpiece to talk about.
It's gorgeous.
So.
We love Ferdinand.
Yes, Ferdinand the Bull. So again, Dan, thank you.
Hey, thanks for
very
coming out.
much for having us out here. You have an incredible place. We're gonna make our own bottles here. We're bottling.
We're getting ready to bottle
Let's do
whiskey.
it.
This is our passion. And what you're going to do here is actually Jen and I are going to sign the bottles, and you're going to know which bottle. As Jen's looked for us on American Dream TV, we'll be able to see which bottle we have. We're actually on May 29th. We've got small batch from Garrison's. We're at barrel number 16874. I have bottle number 30. She has bottle number 58.
American Dream TV. Find our bottle.
God bless Garrison's, God bless Texas. Well, I got me, I'm Cheryl Gibson, come to you live from High Texas, and
I'm Jen Guidry. Thanks for joining us, y'all.
And we're coming here live from Garrison's Distillery up here in beautiful Texas Hill Country of High Texas.
Welcome to Financing the American Dream. We're out here in the middle of beautiful Lake Tahoe, and even though we were both born and raised up here, we still can't get enough.
That's right, it's the ultimate playground, receiving an upwards of 15 million people per year. That's why it's not only a great destination location for a vacation, but also a second home. I'm Heather Topol, your host for Financing the American Dream, Lake Tahoe.
And I'm Ashley Wallace, and on this episode of Financing the American Dream, we're gonna show you what it's like to both live and vacation up here in the mountains.
Here in Lake Tahoe, you're not gonna find your traditional residential home. This resort town really brings out its creative architectural designs.
So let's head back to the dock and meet up with the Lanier brothers, who have both designed and built their own unique Tahoe homes.
This beautiful waterfront home is located in the Tahoe Keys, a development of over 1,500 homes, where you can literally park your boat in your backyard, or in this case, the house itself.
Now this boat bar is a 1927 Hackercraft classic wooden speedboat. And historically, you can still find many of these out on Lake Tahoe today.
We grew up with wooden boats, and so my father said, these things are too much work, let's put them in the house. And so he put a 49 Chris Craft in his house, and I put this Hacker in this house.
This house has such an amazing nautical theme. Every direction I look makes me feel like I'm on an actual cruise ship.
All four seasons are so different up here. In the summer, you can wake surf, wakeboard, paddleboard, all the different summer activities. And in the wintertime, this marina actually freezes over and you can go ice skating.
From the boat bar to the rooftop, I can't wait to see what the next property has in store for us, because this one has it all.
Now we're here in Echo View Estates, which is one of the best kept secrets in all of Lake Tahoe.
Let's go check it out. Echo View is a sparsely populated neighborhood close to everything, but when you're out here, you feel like you're living in a national park.
Oh, you're exactly right, Heather. It's amazing. You can do anything from this property. We snowmobile out the backyard, we mountain bike, we have an OHV park where we can motorcycle ride. As a matter of fact, when I go on vacation, I cannot wait to get back to Lake Tahoe because it offers everything.
Now your family's been up here for quite some time, right?
That's correct. I've been here since 1964, but my family has had property here for 5 generations. I have tried to create that ski lodge vibe in the house because every time we go somewhere, we walk into a ski lodge and the first thing I want to do is just kick off our shoes and stay there. And I think that's what I like with coming into my own house.
Lake Tahoe has some of the most unique vacation rentals in really all the world.
So we have all the amenities of a big city, yet Lake Tahoe is a small town with a close-knit community.
And being on the border of both California and Nevada, we have the excitement of the casinos, and then during the day, we really have any extreme sport you can think of. It's paradise all year long.
To quote Mark Twain, to breathe the same air as the angels, you must go to Tahoe. So if you want to live the American dream, put Lake Tahoe on your bucket list because this place cannot be beat.
Now you've gotten to see a little taste of Tahoe. We'll see you next time.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
For one Minnesota family, their American dream was starting an apple orchard. And here we are, 4 generations later at Aamodt's Apple Orchard in Stillwater, Minnesota. On this episode of Financing the American Dream, we're going to explore all things apple. Let's get started.
Dreamy, breezy, we go.
Hi, great seeing you. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
Okay,
sounds good.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today. I know that you've been rocking in the real estate community in the St. Croix Valley. Tell us more about what's happening here in the Stillwater market.
This is a slower time of year, but we have seen it slow way down. So right now, the name of the game is all about educating our clients.
Absolutely. I think when rates do hit down in the 4s again, we're going to see prices go 10% over asking because that demand is still there.
Exactly.
It's just going to be pent up even further. And what makes Stillwater so special?
Well, I think we've got multi-million dollar homes on the river bluff, but we also have cute homes that are perfect for first-time home buyers too. So Stillwater really provides it all. It also has just fabulous restaurants, fabulous downtown area, and fabulous apple orchard.
So let's go check out some behind the scenes stuff today at the apple orchard. What do you think?
Yeah.
You're a diamond in the rough.
Chris, thank you so much for having us today. You're the 3rd owner, 3rd generation of Aamott's Apple Farm. It's been your family for how long?
Well, this will be our 74th year. So since 1948, my grandfather Thor bought the land. It was his retirement project. I spent a lot of time with Grandpa, amazing, amazing man, and the boys and I had started a new company making hard cider, and we were able to name it and trademark it Thor's Hard Cider after my grandfather.
Well, you're going to give us a behind-the-scenes look today at some of the orchard and what goes on behind the scenes. So, can we do that?
Oh, we certainly can.
Awesome.
These are the fermentation tanks. They've won awards locally, regionally, nationally, and in Europe with their ciders. So, but yeah, no, they're doing a really, really good job. So this is where we keep the apples. All Honeycrisp, Harrelson, and then the other 2 stacks are the apples ready for the boys to start making some cider. And they do it in kegs, bottles. My grandfather could only get 32 trees per acre. Semi-dwarfs brought it up to about 45, 50 trees per acre. We'll go out and I'll show you some of our brand new plantings where we're planting up to 1,200 trees per acre. 99.9% of what we grow is pick your own. What's really cool too about our customers is they're coming in already happy. you know, because they want to do fun things and be with their families. And one of the first things that I did that was new when I took over the orchard, and that is we started our own winery. It's been a really cool adventure, and also was a great segue for my boys to get into the hard cider business, because, you know, we learned a lot. So yeah, so we've had a lot of cool things happening over the years.
Apples really had become part of the Minnesota culture, and it was so fun to get to explore behind the scenes at Aamodt, where I've been visiting for many years. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Financing the American Dream. We'll see you next time.
This is Andrea Kinley with Fairway Mortgage, and welcome to the beautiful city of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to have a special treat today and view Lake Norman. Lake Norman is an expansive lake north of Charlotte, 25 miles from the center of the city, 520 miles of shoreline. It is 34 miles long and 8 miles wide at its widest point. Lake Norman has 3.2 trillion gallons of water and is called the Inland Sea. It encompasses full-time living, some second homes, but many primary residences. And we're going to take you on Lake Norman, so let's go. We are looking at a beautiful peninsula, Brawley School Road Peninsula, that connects to a lovely neighborhood called The Point. It has a beautiful golf and country club. We wanted to show you some of the lovely real estate at The Point. Lots of homes still under construction on waterfront property. Lake Norman offers an incredible diversity of custom homes, all different types of styles, all different sizes of homes. This is one of the most beautiful areas on Lake Norman. Behind me, you can see Little Mountain, which is located in Denver, North Carolina. Welcome to Lake Norman State Park. This is a lovely area donated by Duke Power. Over 1,900 acres for anyone to use, mountain biking trails, hiking, kayaking, swimming, and camping. Everyone is welcome. It is the second most visited state park in North Carolina. I would love to introduce you to Natalie Stormont. Natalie and her husband, Jeff, had a dream about starting PowerCross, and I'd love for Natalie to tell you about the dream.
Yeah, so 16 years ago now, so back in 2006, our son TJ was a third grader, a little fella. He came home and said, I want to share my family and I want to share my faith with friends from my school. So he brought home 3 friends and we fed them dinner and we played football with them and we did a Bible study, and then we took them home and thought that was great, until the next week we went back and there was 8 kids instead of 3 that wanted to come and share TJ's home. And it really just grew over that period of time. For about 3 years, we felt a real calling on our life to minister to these kids. And we saw an opportunity to help raise up a generation of young men who would lead their homes instead of leave. And we saw that putting a foundation in Jesus was what was going to be able to do that. And we utilized their love of athletics as kind of a bait to draw them in. And so every day, it's still pretty much the same ministry as what we started in our house, and we feed them, and we pick them up from school, and we hug them, and we love them, and we help them with their homework, and then we help build their dreams athletically of what God has entrusted to them to use, and then we hope to see them grow into successful men that will either go on to college or join the military or do something right here in their own communities to help rebuild the lives around them. The easiest way to find us is simply to go to our website. It's powercross.org, so very simple to find. You can also follow us on social media, on Facebook or Instagram, and kind of see the daily activities. But on the website, there's a lot of historical videos where you can find out more about how we started, also volunteer forms, and of course forms to help contribute to the ministry if that's something you feel led to do.
To start with a dream and end where they are now, it's just amazing. And the growth that they anticipate is all over the United States. So it's been awesome to be a part of this and to watch the growth.
Thank you for the opportunity to share.
Eden Prairie, Minnesota on this glorious fall afternoon. I am so excited to show you this community that I am so fortunate to call home. Later in this episode, I am going to take you to my favorite local hotspot, Fat Pants Brewery. But before we go there, we are going to take you over to the prestigious Bear Path Golf and Country course. Let's go. I'm here with Greg Olson from Bear Path Golf and Country, and we are at this beautiful location. And Greg, thank you so much for joining me today. I have been a member here for 22 years, and I would love to know what brought you here. I know what brought me here. What brought you here?
Well, Leslie, thanks for having me today. I've been a member for 26 years. Was very fortunate to have the opportunity to buy a lot here way back in 1993 when it was just farmland and open spaces. The golf course wasn't even developed yet. My wife and I built a house, moved in 1995, and this beautiful country club actually didn't open until August of 1996. But it's been a great opportunity for not only my family, but also my kids to enjoy a lifestyle that, to me, is second to none. In the early 1990s, I had a chance to play in the major leagues for 4 years. So there was a lot of opportunity for me to stay in Atlanta once I retired, but here in Minnesota, Bear Path is the only gated golf course community. If I can make my wife's life easier, it makes my life easier. And the amenities and the quality of people and the quality of events and activities here. And hopefully people will come enjoy what I've enjoyed now for over 26 years.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
One of my favorite local hotspots, Fat Pants Brewery, and I am here today with Elizabeth Schmidt. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite places to be, and I'm so excited to be here talking to you. I want to know what got you into the brewery business.
Oh my gosh. Well, not to make a story too long, but I come from a really large family. There are 6 kids in my family. I'm number 3. For Father's Day one year, all my dad wanted was for us to spend time with him. So I went down to kind of our local beer craft store, if you will. I bought one of those little 1-gallon beer making kits that you can make right on your stove. And I called all my siblings up and I said, I need 6 hours of your time. We're gonna make some beer with Dad.
No way.
And we all got together and we brewed this beer with my dad. And I gotta say the beer turned out terribly. But my dad and I just loved it. We loved spending time together. We loved the science behind it. We loved the creativity. And we decided to try again and again. And it just spiraled into kind of this passion, this hobby. And we sat around drinking beer while we made beer. So a little bit of a beer-fueled pipe dream, but we decided to egg each other on and say we should open a brewery. And that's where we started. So my dad has been best friends with a lovely gentleman named Rick since they were 4 years old. They went out one afternoon to watch a Vikings game at a local brewery here in the Twin Cities, and my dad arrived first and Rick showed up a little bit late, and he showed up in these bright Vikings colored Zubas. So my dad looked at him and he said, "Buddy, what are you wearing?" And Rick answers him and he says, "These are my Fat Pants." And I'm very comfortable in my Fat Pants and I want to be comfortable when I'm drinking beer. So I'm wearing my Fat Pants.
I love it.
And as we were talking about our little brewery dream, Rick looked at us and he said, "You know what? We have to call it Fat Pants."
Thank you so much for sharing your story with me. Let's go try out one of those brews.
Yeah, let's grab a beer.
Let's go. So much fun today showing you around Eden Prairie, the city that I call home. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of American Dream.
Hey everybody, I am so excited for today's show. We're gonna do what brings a lot of people here to Idaho. We're gonna go fishing out on the Snake River, which is about an hour to the southwest of Boise. I'm Jeff Lake, let's go fishing.
We're on a boat, we're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. There's a party
Hey everybody, we're here today with my buddy Joe Anthony. He has a great guiding company, Liberty River and Sky. He also happens to work with me in the mortgage business, so we know each other really well. But I really wanted to bring myself down here on the river with Joe and just show everybody who doesn't live here what's great about Idaho. So Joe, talk a little bit about what you guys do at Liberty River and Sky and the things that you can help people discover in our great state.
We're a guide service. We just bought our outfitter license this year, fully from Walters Ferry to Brownlee Dam. We guide for smallmouth. We try to specialize in fly fishing, but we do everything. We've been gear fishing a little bit today, having fun. We do fishing trips, we do photographing trips. We'll come out, we'll cook you lunch, hang out, you guys can photograph. We try to cater to whatever you guys want. What do you want to make the day, right?
So when you get people who are kind of new to Idaho that come out, are they just amazed at the beauty and the amount of wildlife we have? We're literally like an hour from Boise.
I mean, Idaho
Yes.
is amazing. And you know what's amazing about it is the diversity of it. We're in the high desert right now.
Yeah.
It's warm, it's October. We're in shorts, t-shirt, right?
Well, what's amazing to me is my wife and I that came out with you today, we went and decided we were gonna get a 3-year fishing license, $75 for 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other states around us, it's untouchable. You can't get a fishing license. 1 year is gonna cost you $75.
Right.
So our state is really supportive of that outdoor lifestyle. They keep it affordable so anybody can go do it. I know that you have friends that probably never even buy meat at the store because all they do is hunt and fish, and that's how they feed their families. And you can completely do that here in the state of Idaho. You don't have to be an experienced fisher. You'll bring somebody out here, show them the ropes on fly fishing. What
Heck
you
yeah.
do as an educator for the outdoors is you help people learn how to feel comfortable and confident that they can go out fishing, that they can. Just because you haven't done it before doesn't mean you shouldn't come enjoy this amazing outdoor experience.
No, and so the whole thing is to get away. We're all trapped in the freaking concrete jungle enough in our lives, right? How relaxed do you guys feel today?
Awesome today. It's been
Right?
awesome today.
It's amazing.
Well, I can tell you, just knowing Joe, the amount of time I have, there's not a guy that is funner to go out with, jokes, laughs, is just a relaxed guy to be out on the river with. So if you're looking to learn how to fish a little bit, you want to explore Idaho, give Joe a holler. Again, we're just having a great day today, and we appreciate you guys coming along with us.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Financing the American Dream. I've been your host, Craig Sowing. And don't forget, not only can you watch the show here, but also follow us on social at The American Dream TV. Until next time, cheers to your American Dream.